everybody. So one of the questions we get asked quite a lot is how we find camping. We felt this was a pretty important video. We've been on the road a year and a half and we've only paid for 3 campsites. One was at the beginning. It was just, you know,
we didn't know what we were doing.
We didn't know what we were doing. One was in Mexico and it was a beautiful spot. We had to do it and it was very cheap. And one was primitive camping in Big Bend National Park. There's not a lot of national parks that allow primitive camping, and it was like $12 for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, yeah, so worth it.
So totally worth it. But other than that, we've always found free camping, because if you're paying for campsites, to us, that's like paying rent.
And we don't want to do that.
You know, we're on a budget, so the point of this journey was to not have to dish out money for those kinds of things. This video is all about how you can find free camping, beautiful spaces for nothing. So we figured the best way to show you how this is done is to take you through it. So we're actually at a beautiful camp spot right now, but we have been here a few days, we've enjoyed our time, but we're heading out. So we're gonna take you from start to finish on how we find free campsites.
And then at the end of this video, we're going to give you a little list of our tips and tricks. So a little more details at the end. Stay tuned.
So now that everything is put away in the van, we're almost ready to leave. The last thing that we always do is we take a trash bag and we go around the general vicinity of our camp and pick up trash, even if it's not ours. Because even though it's awesome to live this kind of life of freedom, it's important to leave no trace, people. So we're gonna go do that. So now the trash is all picked up, so now it's just a matter of where we're going. Abby, where are we going?
Good question, Natalie. We use a nifty little app called ioverlander to find free campsites. We don't want to drive too far today, and we also want to find a spot that has hiking trails nearby, maybe on a national forest where it's got beautiful scenery. So we're going to go ahead and open up ioverlander and search in the area and see if we can't find something, you know, maybe within a 2 or 3 hour drive. All right, let's bring up the app and look and see. All right, we've got a few options in the general vicinity. I did a little research last night, so I kind of already know what I'm looking for. Let's check this one out. It's called King Solomon Falls. It's got a few reviews. It's really important on ioverlander to check out the reviews, because sometimes you'll see a pin on the map, and if you just go to it and don't look at the reviews, it might not work out. So we always like to read reviews and be sure we know what we're getting into. The reviews on this one mention that there's a hike nearby, a swing, waterfalls. So it kind of seems like this is what we're looking for. All right, let's check out the pictures. Yeah, looks nice. At the bottom of the ioverlander, there's a place where you can either copy the coordinates or go straight to Google Maps. It's really easy to use. So we're going to go to Google Maps and see that, yeah, it's only less than 2 hours away, 50 miles. It looks doable. So what do you think?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, I think we found our camp spot via ioverlander. Let's go.
Now with free camping, you have to understand that you don't have a reservation. You're not, you know, booked for so many nights. You don't know what you're getting into, really. So as the reviews are awesome, you're still, you know, it's still an adventure, because you just really never know how the road conditions are going to be or what to expect when you get there. So luckily for us, I mean, I would say 99% of the time we've used this app, it has come through for us, and we have found some amazing free places. So definitely recommend it.
So we just left the paved road and we're now on a dirt road. We still have about 26 minutes to go, 10 miles. Right now the road is pretty well graded. It's pretty smooth.
Ooh, we're so close. That's a beautiful drive. I'm excited. It takes a while though, just because we're on more dirt roads than not, so we've gotten used to it.
So there, that's the dirt road that we need to be on, I think, to find the campsite. That is definitely a spot. It's not on ioverlander, but you could definitely camp there. we're gonna keep going because we want to try to find this spot with the swing. Woo! Oh my gosh. What do you think, babe? Yeah, it's pretty slick. There's a fire pit over there. It's a lovely campsite. Yeah, this is really pretty. The spot that we originally wanted with this cool swing, I'm guessing it's taken. No one's here. And there's really nothing but this tiny little pop-up tent. So we'll see, maybe if they leave, we will come and take this spot because this is awesome. Look at this swing and look at this view. So now that we've taken you through the process of finding a free campsite via ioverlander, we're going to give you a few more details, information, some other methods, just some general tips and tricks on how we find free campsites. Van life tips with Nat and Abi. Van life, van life, van life.
Welcome to Van Life Tips with Nat and Abi. Today's lesson, we will be talking about how to find free campsites. I must also point out that my shirt is very wrinkly because I live in a van, so don't give me crap for it. Alright, let's start with number 1. Do some general research of the area where you'll be camping. For example, Abi and I knew that we would be traveling in the US, so we did our research and found out that there are some public lands that you can camp on. This includes Bureau of Land Management, National Forest and some wildlife management areas, state forest, and grasslands. For BLM and National Forest, you can stay up to 14 days for free. Some areas might have restrictions, however, so make sure that you do a little research and you check.
Number 2, use apps on your smartphone. When we first started out, we used a website called www.freecampsites.net. You could enter your location and it brought up a list of nearby campsites. It was decent, but our camping game really changed for the better when we discovered ioverlander. This is an app that is super user-friendly. It lists campsites ranging from free dispersed camping, camper-friendly parking lots, and paid official campgrounds. It's the most helpful app we found when it comes to camping. In addition to campsites, it also lists places where you can get water, RV dumps, propane, and other services. Unlike some other apps, ioverlander will somewhat work even without cell service. You might not be able to see pictures and the map might have trouble loading, but you can still look at the campsites that are available. This is especially important for us because we spend a lot of time in areas without cell phone service, like national parks, national forests, etc. Be sure to read the reviews, especially the most recent. We read through reviews on several different spots before making a decision on where to camp. Besides ioverlander, there are several other apps available. Campendium and Park for Night. We haven't really used these much. Like we said, ioverlander is our favorite. If there aren't sites on ioverlander, we may check these, but we really prefer ioverlander. Come on.
Number 3, bring everything with you that you need. This includes water. Finding free camping is a lot easier when you can dry camp or boondock. This means including everything with you. That includes toilet, stove, water, etc., so that you don't have to rely on services that are provided by paid campgrounds. We have found some free camping that offers some charcoal, stoves, pit toilets, and running water. However, that is the exception and not the norm. We knew this ahead of time, so that's why we built our van to be off-grid.
Number 4, plan to get to camp early. This one only applies to camping in nature. If you're stealth camping in a city, you'll want to do the opposite. But that is for another video. What do we mean by early? Sometime in the afternoon, really anytime before it gets dark. Why early? A lot of campsites are down a long, dirt, bumpy road. You're gonna want daylight to see those potholes and avoid those bumps. Campsites can be difficult to see in the dark. If the intended campsite does not work out for some reason, you're gonna want to make sure you have ample daylight to find a new spot.
Number 5, have a plan B. It is possible that you will get to a site and it doesn't work out. Always have a backup option. For example, Abby and I recently went to an ioverlander spot only to arrive to new no camping signs that had just been put up. The next available campsite was another 30 minutes away and it was starting to get late. Luckily we made it, but always make sure you have another plan.
Number 6, avoid arriving on a weekend. If you can, try to arrive sometime Sunday afternoon to Thursday. Weekends are crowded with campers. Pretty much every spot gets taken, and just forget about trying to get a spot with a beautiful view. It's not gonna happen. Beautiful spots always get snatched up first. We often forget about weekends because van life. We've literally driven around for hours trying to find a spot because we mistakenly went out on a Saturday. Oops.
And number 7, be open for an adventure. This is why you got into van life, people. Unlike campgrounds where you have to make a reservation and you know exactly what you're getting into, finding free camping is an adventure. Be open-minded, people. Just recently, we were camping off a dirt road on the White River National Forest, enjoying our coffee amongst the trees, when all of a sudden, moo! A herd of cattle came whipping across the van, men on horseback and dogs, and it lasted probably 45 minutes, and we got to see a show.
Morning entertainment.
So, you never know what you're gonna get, but it's always exciting.
Thank you for watching Van Life Tips with Nat and Abby. We hope these tips make your experience in finding free campsites much easier.
If you found this helpful and you'd like to see more of these types of videos on how we van life, let us know in the comments.
Now that we're done here, how about that waterfall?
Let's go!
Oh my gosh, look how steep it is.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Good luck to us, come on. Be sure to read the reviews.
This means carry everything with you, including toilet, shit. Where am I at? So bad. You're so cute. Okay. You're going to detention, miss.